The basis of the daily diet in North Korean villages is local grains and tubers, primarily rice in the valleys, corn, and potatoes in mountainous terrain, as confirmed by food analyses and reports from humanitarian agencies. Crops are laid out on small plots and rocky terraces, where each family tends its own patch of land, and seasonal work is done by hand within the community, with schedules of duties and collective harvesting arranged. Fermented vegetables, especially cabbage and radish varieties, are a staple of the rural table, used to supplement vitamin shortfalls and as a practical preservation method given limited access to refrigeration and fresh supplies. After the harvest, crops go to household or communal granaries where they are dried, sorted, and stored in sacks and earthenware vessels, a practice that is crucial for surviving periods of low food supply. Restrictions on access to fuel and fertilizers force farmers to work without machinery, reducing productivity and increasing reliance on manual labor and social mobilization for sowing and harvesting. Access to protein is limited. Meat is rare, eggs and legumes are the main sources of protein, and a lack of fats and micronutrients is a problem reported by aid organizations. In coastal villages, the diet is supplemented with dried fish, seaweed, and salted seafood products that are preserved for the winter, transported inland, and traded at markets for local agricultural goods. Many families maintain small home gardens and simple rectangular greenhouse tunnels where they grow cabbage, radishes, chives, and other fast-growing plants used fresh and for preserves. Soups and one-pot dishes with vegetables, sometimes including a small amount of meat or soybean paste, are common because they save fuel, are made from local ingredients, and provide satiety for physically working families. Potatoes and sweet potatoes play the role of emergency food. Stored in cellars and special chambers, they preserve calories through the winter, and their preparation includes baking, boiling, and processing into pancakes or stews. Preserving by fermentation and salting is a common strategy, alongside drying mushrooms and fruits, which together create long-lasting supplies and add flavor to the limited repertoire of winter dishes. Cornmeal and buckwheat flour are used for pancakes, dumplings, and porridges, and these simple processing methods transform basic grains into nutritious snacks and meals suited to limited kitchen facilities. Soy is processed into tofu and pastes, and residues from oil pressing are turned into meat substitutes known as injagogi, which, though modest, help increase protein content in diets where meat is scarce. Simple canteens operate at workplaces and field contingents, serving meals according to nutrition plans, which guarantees a basic calorie intake during intensive agricultural labor and harvests. The public distribution system supplies grain and oil rations in some areas, but irregular deliveries and limited quantities mean many families rely on their own resources and local markets. Local Jangmadang markets serve as a supplement, allowing the sale of surpluses, the exchange of preserves, and the purchase of goods unavailable in state shops, which partially eases local shortages. In times of scarcity, residents gather edible wild plants, roots, and fruits and use them in dishes, which forms part of traditional ecological knowledge passed down by older generations. In the freezing months, farmers rely on preserves of dried vegetables, fats, and fermented products that supply concentrated calories and help survival during long periods of low availability of fresh ingredients. Rural women take care of processing, grinding grain, and managing stocks, organizing household work and neighborly assistance, making them key guardians of food and practical skills in the community. Seasonal stock preparation campaigns engage whole villages that together cut, salt, and pack vegetables into barrels, and these tasks have a strong social and organizational significance for local farms. Grains are processed by simple methods. Rice is rinsed and cooked in large pots, corn is ground into flour, and these basic culinary techniques minimize the need for complex equipment and energy. Cellars and above-ground chambers insulated with straw or earth are used to store potatoes, beets, and dried products, and their construction is adapted to local climatic conditions and seasonal temperature fluctuations. Micronutrient and protein deficiencies in children pose a serious public health challenge in rural areas, as documented by studies and reports that highlight the need for nutritional interventions. Food aid programs from international agencies periodically reach the provinces, delivering grain and supplements, but their reach depends on political decisions and logistical difficulties. Smoking and drying fish and meat are traditional methods that impart flavor and protect products from spoilage, and the characteristic aroma of smoked foods evokes images of rural cuisine and preservation practices. In hard times, alternative sources of protein appear, such as insects, small mammals, or particular edible plants. These practices depend on local customs and are often temporary or traditional in nature. During festivals and holidays, richer dishes with more meat, special soups, and sweet pastries are served, underlining the special character of these days in contrast to the frugal rhythm of everyday rural cooking. Small processing enterprises develop around farms, producing liqueurs, drying fruits, and packaging preserves that reach local markets and support the household budgets of farming families.